All right, welcome to the Creation to Cash Flow podcast. On this podcast, we discuss strategies to maximize your creativity and help you achieve financial freedom. Hi, Michelle.
Hello.
I feel like we haven't done this in forever.
I know we skipped a week and it's just been too long.
It's true for all of our listeners. We skipped last week and we doubled up the week before because I couldn't do it on our typical Wednesday. But it's really good to be back.
Yeah, how was your golf tournament thing that you did last Wednesday?
It was so much fun. It was maybe the worst round of golf I've played in like 3 years. It was insane how badly it went. It was at a really tough course, but it was so much fun. So great to just be surrounded with good people and got so much other cool stuff coming. Going to the Jets game Sunday, have really good seats. Going to Utah the week after for like 8 days. So we'll have a Utah podcast episode. I'll be pretty close to you. Not that close, but kind of close.
Wow, that's so exciting.
What's going on in your world?
Living my life, onboarding my assistant and working on getting another assistant and yeah, just, doing the most I can with each day.
Amazing. So amazing. Really excited for this topic. Today, we're going to talk about wasting time. And we're going to encourage people to waste a little bit more time, actually. As backwards as that sounds, we're all about like productivity and making everything work, but finding the balance. But this episode might be a little bit, it's going to be very helpful for our listeners, but it's going to feel a little bit softer. I don't know about you, but I am such a workaholic that it actually takes conscious effort to take breaks. Are you like that as well?
I am. I used to be way worse, but I think because I'm at home and I've created like a space where, okay, I can go do like yoga stretching here and then I could go over here and just get away from everything. I think that I don't know. It's also weird because I have ADHD. So sometimes I'm like hyper focused and then I'm hyper focused on doing nothing. And so I do feel like I have a good balance. But if there was a side I lean more on, I work a lot. I feel guilty if I don't get something done in a day for sure.
Same, absolutely. Like a lot of people, like if someone was to outline their dream day, like a lot of people will be like, "Oh, it's like it starts by the pool and then like this and that and I have a nice dinner and ice cream in bed." And I'm like, "If you want my ideal day, I've got to have at least like a good workout and like 2 hours of work completed and then mix in all those wonderful things. Like I also hope that like I got to sit in the sun and I caught a really big fish and maybe I played 9 holes of golf and like there are things like that that I also would want to do, but like I am such a workaholic that a lot of our topic today is kind of inspired by, per usual, Robin Sharma, our favorite author and speaker, I guess, even though we haven't seen him speak yet. He has a very actually, this is an Elton John quote, I believe, but it's a very profound quote. And it says, "Time you enjoy wasting is not wasted time." And that quote hit me like a ton of bricks.
Yeah, I think that's the important thing though. You enjoy wasting. That's the key word in all of this is enjoy.
Yes. What does this make you think of, Michelle? Like, I don't know if that hits you as hard as it hits me. Um, there was another one that I'll read later that like really like you were like, whoa, that's a big one. But like, how does this one make you feel? Time you enjoy wasting is not wasted time.
It's accurate. I mean, it still gives me that like wow, that's so profound feeling because I think that and again, I get better at this little by little, but I think that for me, if I don't see it directly impacting my future, then I think it's a waste of time. But I had to learn that there are some things that maybe it's not a direct impact, but it is still impacting my future in a good way, like taking a break and looking at no screens and not answering calls, which, I do a little bit of that way too much. But that maybe it's like, yeah, this isn't like not answering an email. Sure, it's not going to get me the collaboration, but it is impacting me mentally. It's helping me with my clarity, and it is impacting my future in a good way for me to take a step back and not be working. And so I think that as long as I'm doing something that I enjoy instead of forcing myself to work, that is like, I think that it's never a waste of time. Being with friends, if I'm enjoying it, I'm like, wow, that's not wasting time. That's not getting behind. That is still such an important thing.
Yeah, that's a really good way to think about it. I like this quote so much because I feel like it just gives me permission to take a fucking break sometimes, you know? Like it's not bad in the summer. In the summer I'm pretty good because I love the sum I mean I live in New Jersey, so like the winter is nothing like the summer. Like the summer I am fantastic at taking a break, tanning in between calls, going fishing, playing golf. I'm so good. It's the winter when there's not as much outdoor activity for me to do because I really love being outdoors. But like when it's freezing out, there's not a whole lot of options there. And I just work so much that like it's hard to take a break or it's hard to not guilt myself when I take a break. And it kind of leads me into the next profound quote. By the way, guys, this is all just from the I think the book is called The Wealth Money Can't Buy. It's Robin Sharma's new book. The next quote from there, this one is so good too. It's all from the same page. This is just one profound page of the book. This next quote says, "Why are fame and fortune more prized than inner peace and personal freedom?" Ooh, as a society, we value the wrong things. And I mean, I love social media, but like I think social media is to blame a little bit for why we value like fame and fortune so much. Like TV and social media have kind of done that. There's so many good things that come from them too, but it has just created this world where we don't value like inner peace and personal freedom as much. And what that means is like just genuinely being happy, and personal freedom meaning having the ability to make your own schedule and build your days to be what they want, like what you want. um I want to paint a picture for you, Michelle, and see like which of these two options you would choose, because one is going to be more of like a fame and fortune and one is going to be like an inner peace and personal freedom. Would you rather make $20,000 a month every single month and like live pretty comfortably and a chill life, or would you rather make $100,000 per month and be like really well known and famous and have to work a lot?
Oh, I don't know how to answer that because to me, you're saying numbers. I'm like, cool, I've made that sometimes. I've done that before. Like, but the thing you're saying is work a lot. But if it's something I love, like if I'm in a movie and I'm the lead actress, and yeah, I work 12-hour days, 8-hour days, whatever it would be, and I become well known because I'm doing something I love, I think that to answer your question, I don't know if a chill, comfortable life is what I seek. I seek doing what I enjoy, doing what I love, and that is my answer. So, aside from the money and the lifestyle you're saying, I think to me it's like, am I just sitting around on my ass and doing nothing and being complacent? Or am I seeking what I want to do, enjoying what I'm doing, working a lot, but maybe it doesn't feel like work like I do right now? That's my answer. I don't know if that was the right way to word that or answer that, but that's how I see it.
That's like, I think that's great. I mean, I didn't have that like written down. I just kind of wanted to pick your brain about that. So yeah, you gave a really good answer there because there's not a right or wrong. And like some people might be very clear cut and they're like, honestly, I would love to just chill and do nothing. And other people are like you said, they might love the work that they're doing. So I guess it would depend on what you're working on and what you're busy with. Um, I'm not sure what I would pick, to be honest, but I think I would lean more towards that freedom and not having to work as much. I think I would lean more towards that because then I would just pick other things to work on. Like I would just focus on getting really good at golf or like doing other things that still fill my cup. Like I can't sit around and do nothing. I have to be challenging myself and getting better at something. Um, and there's no shortage of things I want to do. Like just between like surfing, golf, guitar, Spanish, and fishing. Like I already have so many things on my plate that like free me up financially. I still have so much work to do in all of those areas that like I would still feel like I'm working, but there's something so addicting about making progress in things, but also like I love just thinking about the other side of it too, and like just being happy regardless of work and progress. Like I often feel like I need to earn breaks and I need to like win myself over to have time off. And that's definitely something that's I've gotten better at, but like it's not a great habit overall.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way, but I also operate with challenges. Like, for example, if I have to unload the dishwasher or do the dishes or do laundry, I like put a timer on my phone. I'm like, ooh, can I do this in 2 minutes? Ooh, can I do this in 5 minutes? And it makes me want to do it. And it like motivates me to do it because I've set up a challenge for myself to get it done. And it's like, okay, I'm going to have a 7 day checkbox. And every morning I make my bed, I get to check the box. Like, I just love doing that. I don't know why. And so, I think that the whole, like, I earn my relaxation, I enjoy that, like, because then I feel like the times I'm with my friends or I'm at a beach bonfire and not working on my business, I'm still progressing towards my future because I did get stuff done and now I'm building connections, which is what being a human is all about, and I'm enjoying, like, the beauty around me, and so I think that it allows me the space to be able to relax. Like, I don't want to just be sitting around and doing nothing and just relaxing all the time because then I think I'm lazy. But also, I know I could do better and I know I could be better. And I honestly, I've done that a few times. Like in the past year, there's been like a day where I just didn't really do anything productive. But I didn't feel good, not because I was guilting myself for not working, but because what I was doing was like being a slob and just like I don't know how to explain it. Just eating Takis, Trader Joe's chips and drinking sparkling water and watching a freaking reality TV show. Like I don't feel good after doing that, you know? But when I take a break and I'm like, I'm going to go to the pool, I'm going to go to the beach, I'm going to go play pool on the rooftop at my apartment and see people, then I feel good. So I think it's I don't know. I said a lot just now.
I loved all of it. I was tuned in for sure. You're right. Like the best days are the ones where you got some stuff done and then get to enjoy the presence of other people. Oh, it's the best. I hate it doesn't work out as well when it's the other way around. Like when I got to do something super fun with people in the morning, and then later I have to do stuff. It makes me feel like ugh, but like even worse, if you want to give me like a full on like the other day we talked about Michelle having a panic attack from eating an edible. If you want to give me like panic attack level anxiety, put me in bed and like force me to watch 3 hours of TV straight. Because like some people can do that. That's their ideal night. I truly will like start to sweat. Like I will be like, I need to get up and accomplish something. Like I can't do this. I hate doing nothing and I hate watching TV so much that it truly causes like internal panic if I'm not getting better at something. And I was not always this way. I like programmed myself to be this way. I don't know if I overprogrammed or what, but like I can't enjoy some forms of like rest like that. Like that's not rest to me. Like that's not restful. That makes me feel awful.
Yeah, I can't watch TV without doing something else. So I used to be just like you, where I couldn't even sit and watch anything. I didn't even want us to buy a TV when we moved to LA. I was like, we don't need that crap. We don't need that time waster. But as an actress, like I do have to watch certain things because we bring it up in class. So it's funny you're saying that. But even if we have the TV on, because my husband likes watching TV, I'm working on my computer. I'm doing stuff that I can get done that doesn't require me to be talking or listening to sound. So I can watch TV now, but I still have to be working.
I did it the other night. I was watching the Jets play the Patriots because I love the Jets. I just got this visor to before I go see them Sunday. I'm so excited about it. And I was working the whole time. Like I had my laptop on my lap and like a blanket over my legs, and I was wearing my Aaron Rodgers jersey, and I had some Kangen water to my side, and some good, healthy, dried organic mango. And I was like, I am set up for success. Like, I could watch this and enjoy it, but I will get things done too. So I don't feel like this was wasted time. And it felt so good. Like, I enjoyed it so much. But if I wasn't getting a little something done, and I know that there's things to get done too, like, oh, it just eats at me.
Yeah. I think that's the thing. I don't enjoy being immersed into that because I know what it feels like to do something else that still brings me that joy. Now, I will say, I used to not watch TV because I like TV so much. Same with like video games. Like, I could play Mario all day long. I could literally be a streamer. I love playing video games so much that I freaking hate them because they're a waste of time. They're not helping me progress unless I was getting paid to be a streamer. And so I have to like put up boundaries for things that I know I love so much. So like with TV, I know I love TV, and so that's why I like fasted from it for 3 years. I didn't watch any TV, no move, like nothing. I would not allow myself to do it. And then I started to get back like immersed into it. And then I was like, well, I can still be productive and have this on and still learn kind of what I'm watching and, look at the actors, hear them, everything like that. But I'm not going to allow myself to go back to that place. And it's like when people don't eat vegetables and then you start eating them and then you crave them. I Yes, I can watch TV again, but I'm not in that zone where I'm being so immersed in it that I'm wasting time because now I'm craving work. I'm craving productivity. So it's like a balance that I've struck with watching TV.
It's so funny you say all of this, especially like the video games and like setting a timer to do dishes, because y'all may not be aware of this, but Michelle is the most competitive person.
Oh, yeah.
She will flip the table while we're playing Clue. Like,
I'm pretty competitive.
it is, yeah, it's so funny that you've built this competitive nature in yourself to work with your life. Um, so awesome. All right, let's hit another one of these amazing quotes. Who sold us the idea that doing, again, these are all just from one page. It's page like 179 of The Wealth Money Can't Buy by Robin Sharma. If you go into like the bio of this episode, I think you get that on either of our storefronts. But this quote says, "Who sold us the idea that doing nothing isn't valuable?" And I love that. That one resonated with me because, like, I'll sit there for 3 hours and like meditate. That's fine because I'm like, this is productive. This is me time. Sitting there for 3 hours, like in bed watching TV. Oh, I feel like my chest tightening up even just imagining that. But like sitting on a yoga mat for 3 hours, or just laying on a yoga mat for 3 hours. Give it to me all day long. I'm going to feel great after. I'm going to get such deep thinking done. I'm going to be happy I didn't spend it on my phone. Oh, that's the best.
Yeah, and that's your thing, right? Like some people feel that way about playing a game or about watching a little bit of TV. They get recharged from their thing. And so for us, I think we can both agree we're not big TV watchers. I would definitely never just watch TV in bed unless I have COVID. Like I don't I don't go to my room unless I'm going to sleep because studies show that you sleep better if you don't spend time in your bedroom during the day. That way you're training your body and your mind to go to sleep when you walk into your bedroom. Like you're automatically going to be overcome with tiredness. And so I learned that like 5 years ago and it's a life-changing thing. Like I don't take any like melatonin anymore or anything like that. And so even with ADHD and my brain going crazy, I know that I'm gonna fall asleep whenever I go into my room. Although I do turn on The Office, but I have it in the background and I have it like I don't watch it because I have glasses on when I go to bed, so I can't see it regardless if I tried. So yeah, no, I never spend time in my room. But for me and you, I know that's not our thing, but I know that there are some people. My husband is one of them that really likes like he can get home from work, he does do stuff around the house and then he can turn on like an episode of something and then feel recharged and then keep doing something. And me, I'm like, I either have it on and it's like I'm working and then I just want to keep listening to it and I can't stop myself. And he's the kind of person that can't just sit around watching it for a long time, but he knows how much it recharges him and like gets that one thing or plays that one game. Usually when I'm not there because I hate video games, like I said, and then it recharges him. So I want to tell all of our listeners too, like find what works for you because me and Nick are saying these things and we're not saying these are bad things. They're just things, but you can make them bad if your habits associated with them are not good.
Yeah, exactly. Like the name of this episode, start wasting more time. So like find your thing of like, well, find the line of like, is this wasted time or is this recharging me and making me more productive? Because it's not going to look the same for everyone. I do highly encourage people like try try sitting on a yoga mat for even just an hour with no phone in the room, and you'll fall in love with that activity because you will find out how much has been rattling around in your brain that you have not been sorting through, and it will all come up and you can work through all of it. And I feel like, I mean, objectively, like TV is probably a distraction, but sometimes we need that distraction. Life is not all about just work, productivity. What did you get done? Like, entertainment is such an important part of a good, happy life. So, it is important to waste time sometimes because if you're enjoying it, like Elton John says, it's not wasted time.
Yeah, and it's so important to know what is your distraction. Because I could say the same thing, people go golf to get distracted from life, you know? And so it's like, what if somebody's golfing and they're just feeling more alive, they're connecting with friends, like, it's all about what are you getting from it? And so, again, I only know my experience with TV, so just know what your distractions are, and then also you said something about being silent. No matter what, if you take this from today's episode, sit in silence. Let your thoughts come to you. Do not have any noise coming in and just hear what your thoughts are so you can process things every day. Like the meditation, even if it's a 5-minute meditation, that will make you on a higher vibration immediately.
And it's really cool because I used to think that was just stuff that people say, like the way you vibrate. Like I thought that was just like what spiritual girls say on their Instagram, and like it's actually real. And there's a ton of science that breaks down like how meditation actually changes the way that even your brain operates, and it's crazy, crazy powerful what it does for you. Um, have you ever read Think Like a Monk or any books about people that kind of just like drop their life and go live with monks for a few weeks?
I've read books that mention people doing this, but I've never read a book like from one or specifically just about that.
Oh, I'm gonna send you one that's fantastic. Jesse Itzler, who is like one of my favorite entrepreneurs ever, um, he did this. He did this. He did two versions of this that were like for 30 days each. One of them, he has David Goggins come live with him for 30 days and like just train him to be like the most disciplined, badass entrepreneur he can be, um, just through like physical training. And then the other, Jesse Itzler, goes and lives with monks for like 3 or 4 weeks. He just drops everything, ditches his phone, and just goes and lives with monks for like 3 or 4 weeks. It is such a good story because he's a great writer. He's super funny. Like he just breaks down like when he first gets there and he looks at his room and he's like, what the fuck am I going to do? He's like, I don't have a phone. There's nothing to do. He's like, it's 6 p.m. I'm not tired. Like, what am I going to do for the next 3 or 4 hours? So like he ends up just being in silence for so much time, and the things he learns about himself are incredible. Speaking of which, Jose, who was in our last episode, he's our only recurring guest so far on this show. Jose is going, probably right now, he might even be already doing it. He's doing a 7-day darkness retreat.
Hmm.
Have you ever heard of these?
No, what is that?
It is where you live in complete silent darkness for 7 days. Like no phone. I think people usually do it. You have like a special blindfold that you put on and you don't take off for 7 days. And you just live with your thoughts only for 7 days. And I can't imagine. I know lots of people, or I have seen lots of people. I don't know lots of people, but I've seen lots of people do this, and it is crazy. Like they often do like they take videos of when people take off the blindfold, and the way these people just have this newfound gratitude for, one, not only being able to see and the gift of vision, because like you never know, something happens on accident and like, or I know something happens in your body and you lose the ability to see or to see well. So it's such a good thing to be grateful and aware of. But watching people take off their blindfold and talk about what they have learned about themselves over the last few days is so cool. I can't imagine what someone like Jose, who already feels like out of this world knowledge and wisdom, I can't imagine what he's going to learn about himself.
I need us to have him back so we can hear how it went. I am so curious what that is like from his perspective.
I'll make it happen. That would be that would be such a good episode, and he would love to do it too.
Yeah, let's do it.
You know what's going to happen though is we're going to have to go do one then.
I'm good with that. I would love that. I spend 7 days sometimes where I don't even answer a text or a DM or look at my phone. So, I mean, darkness is another level of that, but, wow, that is fascinating. I would love to do that. I think that's so powerful. Even just those things where you're just sitting and they cover you in the tank and you're, like, floating in water or whatever, like, even just that, I think that is powerful, and they have them in, like, all the major cities.
Have you done one? Have you done a sensory deprivation tank?
Nope.
Oh, they
I
are
should.
awesome.
I should.
You
Have you?
should. Yes, I have.
I want to. I think it would be I mean, I'm all for anything like that. Any way I can just be more quiet and alone. I'm down to try it. Not try it, sorry. I hate the word try. I'm down to do it.
That's so funny. Michelle's doing it just so she doesn't have to like answer emails.
No. I mean, maybe. But, that's kind of the point, right? You don't need to be anywhere or be something for anyone. You could just be with yourself. And I think that's the best way to be so you can have a foundation so you can bring your best self to those around you.
When I did when I did the sensory deprivation tank, I remember I remember hallucinating like pretty vividly, because the darkness retreat, I don't really know how that works. Like, I don't know what they feed you, how you eat. Like, I want to ask questions like that, of course, to Jose. But when you do the sensory deprivation tank, it's a little different because, like, not only can you not see, but you can't feel anything.
Or
Like,
here, right?
yeah, I'm assuming that his is probably there's nothing to hear either. I wonder if I would think they give you like earplugs or something.
Oh,
I would imagine because it's not like you would use. I know you don't use that time. It's not like you could listen to a podcast or music or something. So they probably just like you're either in a quiet place or they give you headphones or something to make it quiet. That's what I would imagine. I guess we'll confirm.
I'm curious because I would rather be in a tank than out in the wilderness blindfolded without being able to hear if somebody's coming near me or if if somebody just randomly like touches me, that would freak me the heck out. So I hope they can still hear like somebody stepping on some leaves or something.
I'm sure that it's not out in the wilderness. It's probably in like some sort of glorified hotel. And like there's probably like I'm sure they've thought this through. Like there's probably like special systems where like they play a soft song to let you know like hey, like it's time for bed. And like I would imagine they have little feedback systems like that cuz that's what they do with the sensory deprivation tank. Like cuz when I was in there like I was floating in this tank butt ass naked. They recommend you do that. They don't force you to, but I was like I'm giving the full experience. Um and like towards the end of it, it just starts playing soft music to kind of let you know, like, okay, like you have 5 more minutes, rather than imagine someone just opening up the tank like that.
No, I already get terrified, like, if I can't see, because I have contacts, right? But if I'm not wearing them and I'm just, like, taking a shower or something or anything, and then, like, a door opens, I, like, jump because I can't see anything, and that's just blurred vision, it's not complete darkness. So, I'm wondering how it would be if it's, somebody just startles you. I get startled easily sometimes
All right,
when
what
I
we'll do because I don't know if we'll be able to just drop everything for 7 days. I feel like I don't think I don't think I can do that and like expect that everything and every person that needs my help is going to be fine. But like maybe after Jose's episode, we'll do like 2 hours in sensory deprivation tanks, and then that'll be our follow up episode.
2 hours. I thought they were, like, 10 minutes or an hour or something.
The one I did was an hour. I'm just trying to like up the ante a little bit because Jose is coming off 7 days of this, and like our tribute to him is going to be like, we'll go do an hour. I feel like that's weak. So I don't
Yeah.
know. We'll figure it out, but I think doing something like that would be so cool and make for a great episode.
Yeah.
I already know, like, there's one super close to me that I really like. They let you do oxygen therapy and things like that beforehand. But I mean, point being, it is not a waste of time to do absolutely nothing and just think. It is like one of the most profound things you will ever do as a human. And the one thing I don't love about this day and age, like, I love that it's like social media is at our fingertips and it's never been easier to build an online business and make money and inspire other people. But everything is so distracting that it takes so much conscious effort to do nothing.
Do not disturb 24/7, and it really upsets people, and I get it because the expectation is there because 'cause we're humans, we need to adapt to the way that this world works, right? But at the same time, I limit my distractions as much as I possibly can, and I still get distracted. I still have obviously ADHD, anything can distract me, like the freaking squirrel, all the time, anything. The freaking helicopters that fly right near my window, 30 flights up. But I do try to limit my distractions with do not disturb, with focus mode, with certain things that I think is helpful, and which is why I love social media, so we can share this knowledge of how to limit distractions, how to do certain things to better your life, and how to meditate for 5 minutes. I recommend every morning you wake up and write down your thoughts. Just write down what you're thinking every morning. I'm telling you, it seems like woo woo. Some people think that, some people don't see the benefit of it, but I'm telling you, 2 minutes of just writing down what are you thinking right now when you wake up before anything gets in your head. Guys, do not underestimate. If I told you you would get $1 million in the next 5 years if you did this every morning, I know you would do it. And you know what? If you start doing it, you might, because your vibration will go up, like we said. Like, it's so powerful.
My friend calls that morning pages.
Morning what?
Morning pages. Like, you just wake
Mm.
up and you just try and fill a page. It's not about how many pages you do, but she calls it morning pages. And I started doing it, not religiously, not every single day, but like just doing it some days, just wake up and just write what I'm feeling and thinking. It is such a good way to start the day. And on top of that, I've been getting better at becoming less available on my phone. I have 493 unread text messages, so I feel like I'm trending in the right direction. How many do you have?
Oh, like 900 something.
Okay, I'm getting there. I'm getting my numbers up.
No, don't get your numbers up, please. Like, don't. The overwhelm, I'm not reading them because I don't want to get distracted. At this point, it's like I don't read my stuff because I don't want to be overwhelmed, and then it just compiles. I think that there should be a dedicated time where you are available and you can go through everything. At least if you're like me and you get overwhelmed easily, which I do. Instead of letting them all pile up. But I've changed my number, and like I've done certain things that will help limit the amount of people that are like reaching out. And the thing is I give every message my all. I can't just half respond to something. I add emojis, even on Slack. I'm like, I look like very detailed at everything everybody says. I make sure I'm communicative. I'm not just like, yes. I'm like, oh, great job. Like I give people my all, even in a message. So that's why I let messages go unread, because I'm like, I don't have time to give you my anything, because I'm going to give you my everything in this one response.
You know, there's a read all button.
Oh, I will not do that. The thought of that makes me want to puke, because what if I miss something that's important and somebody really needs me and I'm like, "Oh my
Yeah,
god, I can't let them down." So no.
yeah. That's why I haven't done that either.
Don't do it. You might miss something that's, like, really important, and I know I'm missing it because I can't see it, but at least I know one day I might get to it. But I will say yesterday, my assistant went through all 3,000 something emails, and we're down to less than 100 now, and I'm super excited that that happened. So, we're making
Wow.
progress, but she doesn't have my iMessages.
Right. Yeah. That is progress. That's big progress. All right, here's another one of those quotes. Here's the one that you really liked Monday night when we were planning this episode. A strong work ethic without a deep rest ethic won't stand the test of time. How does that make you feel?
I mean, that's part of being a human. We're not robots. We're not workhorses. We are meant to have moments of rest. Like, that is like, even for BC or whatever. Like, it's you on the seventh day you rest. Like, that's not like a funny saying. That's real. We need rest. So if you have a good work ethic like Nick and I both do, you need to also learn how to recharge and rest. Like that is just as important. Otherwise, you're just going to burn the candle and you're going to burn out. And I've done it before. I've done it a couple times before. And at this point, I've done it so much. I don't regret it because now I'm able to recognize the things that I'm doing and I can either switch up what I'm doing with my life or switch up my habits. So I think it's good and it's important and it's one of those things you hear it, Nick, but unless you've experienced it, you don't fully grasp how important what you just said is.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how much that it matters. I'm pretty good at this. Like I do take naps, thankfully, and I don't ever guilt myself over naps. I'm a really good napper. Even sometimes 12 minutes. 12-minute nap or 8-minute Navy SEAL nap, like I actually do those. I'm really good at that of giving myself like these little breaks in between things when I'm feeling overwhelmed or like I haven't gotten up or moved my body in a while. And like it's a difficult skill. I think everyone struggles with giving themselves permission to rest, especially when I first quit my job. This was really hard to not feel like I had to do something 24/7, especially because you're trying to make a certain amount of money and there's so much work to be done. And like if your income is not where you want it to be, this is when it gets really bad, that like you feel like you can't rest because you're like, I'm not making enough money. But it doesn't work that way. You're not going to show up as your best self and you'll hurt yourself more in the long run, which is why that quote says it won't stand the test of time. Like you can do it for sure. You can do it for a little while, but you can't do it forever.
Yeah, it's not sustainable. And that's what we want to build are sustainable habits and a sustainable lifestyle to where you can work and operate how you prefer, but you're also recharging and you're learning how to do it that will last. And also just know that people around you are watching what you do. They're watching your habits, they're watching what you're doing. So if you're one of those people that is showing up online, kind of like you said, we have this thing now where we can see what others are doing and sometimes the things that people are posting online are so not realistic even for them and then people try to replicate it to have the kind of life that they have and then they burn out or they don't understand or they don't think they're good enough and that's what I don't like about some of these things online. That's why I try to post that authenticity as much as I can, but it's important that you're resting and you're being honest with yourself about what you need. You're not weak if you need rest. You're not. Everybody has a different capacity. And honestly, my like expansion of what I'm able to do in my capacity, it changes throughout the entire year. Like every month is almost a different level of the expansion in my brain or what I can handle at that moment. So you have to just be so in tune with yourself, which goes back to what are your thoughts? What are you thinking? Are you spending time alone with your thoughts? And are you being honest with what you need right now? And don't guilt yourself about needing rest. Like, we're human, we need it. Like, we actually need it.
Ooh, that was really good. I feel like I needed to hear that. I'm like, let me let me listen to that one again. It's just so good. I love talking about this because like it's a reminder for myself. You know, it's something I feel like I'm not perfect at.
No, no
I'm
one
not
is.
sure. I'm not sure I ever will be. I'm not sure anyone ever is, to be honest. Um, I'm really excited now about talking to Jose about how his darkness retreat goes and doing some sensory deprivation tanks.
Yeah, I'm going to look at, there's some in, I mean, right down the street. So I really need to do that. I want to do that. I think it'd be really good for both of us to do it and then come back and talk about it.
Yeah, and we can write it off too.
Right. Oh my gosh. I forgot about that.
Anything else we need to hit on this topic? I feel like this was hopefully a really good reminder for everyone. And before we start wrapping up the episode, actually, we need more voice memos from you guys. We need a fresh round of ideas you guys want us to talk about, podcast guests, topics. I guess that's the same as ideas. Anything related, questions you have, things you want us to speak on. And in order to submit those, just go to creation2cashflow.com. That's creation to cashflow.com. Leave us some of those voice memos. If you've been thinking about doing it or you've been meaning to, send us them. We love doing episodes based on what you guys want to hear, but we need a fresh batch of them.
Yeah, please. We love it. I mean, we're here for you guys, right? But to wrap everything up, I will say when you're resting, Are you doing it to distract yourself from what you're going through, or are you doing it because you want to recharge and bring your best self back to whatever you enjoy doing? And also, don't underestimate the word enjoy. Everything you're doing in life, make sure you're enjoying it. And if you're not, if you feel a check in your heart or your gut, press into that. See what that is. See why you're feeling that way. Maybe it's because you need to expand your capacity and what you're capable of and grow your business or yourself. Or maybe you need to redirect and change what you're doing because you could be better for everyone and make this world a better place and make your happiness more if you change what you're doing. And so just always be in tune with what are you enjoying? Are you resting to get away from things because that can become a habit, and then you look up and you're like, "Holy crap, I've been so unproductive for the last 3 months and I need to work on that." And then you know what? You're going to be motivated to go back. Like none of this is like life or death, right? You learn from making those mistakes. So I think it's better to rest too much and be taking care of yourself than it is to literally just like crash and burn bridges along the way, because when you're not rested, you're hurting those around you. You just are. And that's never worth it. Like we want to be kind and give things to this world and to those around us. And so the more rested you are, I feel like the better you're able to do that.
So good, so good. You are such a great speaker. On top of that, too, this this came up as you were talking about this. I live by Jose's rule of like, am I before I do a task, like, am I doing this to tap in or to tap out? I live by that. Like, am I taking a break right now because I need to tap out? Like, maybe I do need to tap out. Maybe I need to like take a nap. Or am I about to do something like to tap in and to improve myself and become the best version of me? If you guys are looking for more of this, more of Michelle, go check her out on Instagram and TikTok at Michelle JH. Michelle is spelled with two L's, then four E's, then a J, then an H. You guys can find me on Instagram and TikTok and all the places at Get Ahead with Nick, except LinkedIn. And you guys can find our long form clips of this and short form on YouTube, as well as Instagram and TikTok at Creation to Cashflow. We love you guys. We love doing this. And thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.